So based on everything we've heard, let me try to kind of make sense of Doomsday and tell you how I think this movie's going to go. So, the beginning of the movie, Doctor Doom, we're going to see him with the Fantastic Four. He's going to be like, Reed, are you ready? Boom, yes, let's go. Boom, and they go into 616. Okay, so they get there, and Doctor Doom will confront the 616 Avengers, and he's going to be like, I'm a Tony Stark variant from a different Earth named Doctor Doom. And they're all going to be like, that's tight, dude. That name is dope. I love the drip. Like, the cloak is really cool. This is nice. And also, you look just like Tony, so I believe you. You have my trust instantly, right? And he's going to be like, dope, cool, great. And then all the Fantastic Four are going to kind of be like this. And they're going to be like, Reed, why do you got that face? And then he's going to be like, no reason. No reason. This dude's totally trustworthy for sure. For sure. Okay? For sure. And they're going to be like, dude, you just look like you're lying. Like your face, you just look like a liar. Like, are you lying about this shit right now? And then Johnny's going to be like, no. Dr. Doom's the best, man. Don't let the name fool you. On our Earth, if you're named Doom, it actually means you're a hero and shit. And then everybody's like, okay, cool. We're going to go with this. Because I just get a feeling that you were paid $80 million to be in these movies. So we're just going to go with it. So then all the Avengers that think they're working with a Tony Stark variant are going to go into the X-Men universe. And they're going into the X-Men universe so that they can get Monica Rambeau and stop the incursion. So like, oh shit, big old incursion happening. Oh no, things are really bad. And we better go get Monica. And then they all go there. Doctor Doom's going to send all the Sentinels. Massive fight against all of the X-Men universe and all the X-Men team. And then at the end of the day, this is all probably just to get the TVA to show up. The TVA shows up. Doom flips the script, grabs the TVA person, goes to the TVA. From there, he's going to go after Steve Rogers. Somehow, some way, probably due to Pedro. Pedro will probably be like, oh, you know what? Shit, I was lying this whole time. He's actually going to go kill Steve Rogers, your favorite hero. And he's going to do that before he goes to live with Peggy because it destroyed the whole universe. Okay? So then the other characters probably then travel. Oh, here's something else I learned, which is so silly. Do you remember how, like, America Chavez is a character that can literally make portals between universes? You'd think they would probably, like, use her in the movie, but they're not. Instead, it's just Franklin Richards. Like, Franklin just becomes the way that they travel through universes. So, anyway, point is, I think what's going to happen is at some point, Doom is going to be revealed to be trying to use the TVA tech, maybe combined with some Doom tech, maybe just combined with Franklin's powers, and he's going to try to go back into actual causal time and kill Steve Rogers before he gets into that world. I think the Avengers are going to then go to when Steve kind of like first shows up in that universe through probably time travel. And they're going to try to grab him and save him. And maybe they do, but then the entire multiverse collapses. And then Doom's like, fuck it. Now I got to get to Loki to reset everything, and the Avengers try to stop him from getting to Loki. Maybe Loki has people, then he's trying to stop him as well. And then everything ends. Doom recreates the multiverse, and it ends. That's about what I think is going to happen. So I don't know. I mean, could that be awesome? For sure. There's a lot of ways that the mystery could be built well. One of the things I can't get over, one of the things I'm like, kind of trying to wrap my head around is like, so how can the Fantastic Four just sit there and have him lie to the Avengers. Do you know what I mean? Like, why and how would the Fantastic Four just be willing to dead-ass lie to all of these different heroes? And the explanation I was given is, like, they just don't want their universe to be destroyed. But, like, bruh, that's kind of tough. Like, I don't know. And then what's the deal with Doom anyway? So here's another question. Right? So what about Steve living with Peggy created all of these incursions? How is that even a thing? Like, why is that a thing? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, for real, why would that be so bad? Just some kind of cosmic rule? Yeah, I don't know, man. Should have been Steve and Natasha anyway. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I'm just like, so wait a minute. You're telling me, so he goes back. Here's another question too. Is he on the sacred timeline, or did he create another? It seems like this would imply that he had to create a branch timeline that threw everything off, right? I don't know, man. It just feels so messy. Like, in Loki, we're presented with this idea that if these timelines are not pruned, incursions will happen, multiversal war. Okay? So that stops happening, and then we're like, oh shit. And then they have this concept of the loom, right? And the whole idea of the loom is like, oh, well, if things get out of hand, if there's some multiversal incursion bullshit, everything just gets destroyed down to the sacred timeline again, and the loom spins it all back into what it's supposed to be, right? But it's like, wait a minute. So, did you know then that Steve was always going to do this at some point, and that would be the start of everything? And was the loom just because Steve would do some shit like this? Like, bro, make it make sense. If it was so bad that it could not happen, I don't know. I just feel like this is not really a well thought out plan. Like, this does not actually feel like everything they were building is towards this. Now, one thing I will say is that it does seem like Cap putting the stones back was always a thing that was always going to play into whatever they were doing here, because the Nomad show rumors were real. I don't think you're going to get that show anymore, by the way. I hope we do. We need it more now than ever. But it almost feels like they took what they always knew they were going to play off of, and now they're making it the whole thing. And in place of an actual explanation or a full-ass show that would show us what happened, we're just going to have to go with it. Like, they're basically just being like, oh, you're just going to have to go with it. When Steve made this call, he fucked everything up. And it's like, I don't know, man. Like, I have trouble just buying into that. I don't understand the physics of it. I don't see how any of it was set up. You know? And it also kind of low-key feels like they were like, we need to figure out a way to get Steve Rogers back with the Shield. You know what I mean? Like, doesn't this kind of feel like just getting Steve Rogers Captain America back again with extra steps? Like, this just feels like they are making a they always like this meta shit, right? It feels like the most meta shit in the world, where they're like, dude, when Steve Rogers chose to not be in this shit anymore, it all fell apart. It also kind of makes me feel that when Feige made those comments recently about, like, why did Captain America 4 bomb or whatever, he's like, well, it's the first one without Steve Rogers. It's like, bro, like, what's going on up there, bud? You know? Like, what? I don't know. I guess I'm curious. I'm curious as to how you guys feel about it. At the end of the day, maybe it's fine. You know, maybe it didn't need to be the craziest, most expansive, fucking awesome idea. And maybe there'll still be plenty of surprises. The performances will be great. When we actually see it in the film, it'll make sense. Like, I will remind you that not just in Superman, but in Fantastic Four, there were things that came out that were leaked that we had a bad impression of, but ultimately were very good. So, like, we heard Ben doesn't say it's clobbering time. And at first I was like, ooh, that's tough. Like, he should say it. But now we realize, oh, well, that was because they wanted to make it a thing and play off of it. And then it's a cool moment when he finally says it. Same thing with Silver Surfer, man. Female Silver Surfer. Like, at first we were all like, what is this? And then you sort of understand it. It's like, oh, they did that so that it would be a romantic thing with Johnny. Totally works, right? Same thing with Superman. Like, there was a whole bunch of stuff we heard and we kind of roll our eyes and we're like, oh my God. And then you see it in the movie and you're like, wait, no, that actually works. Or that was just in passing. That wasn't as big of a deal as I thought, right? So there's a lot of ways that this could still be really cool. I'm just personally a little bitter because I thought they were going to go for it way more. Like, bro, like, dude, okay, I'll just tell you this. So I was working on this big video yesterday. I had to throw it all out completely, okay? But I was going to make the point that what Doom should do, especially, like, let's consider if He Who Remains was really the person behind this. He Who Remains decided, no, Doctor Doom. He Who Remains maybe even decided Doctor Doom will be raised as Tony Stark in this timeline, okay? So that's what happens. Well, what if Doctor Doom then got the TVA technology, he went back to Iron Man 1, he kills Iron Man, creating a branch timeline, and then within that branch timeline, his whole focus is to get Steve Rogers to turn evil. Because he realizes if Steve Rogers goes dark side, all the dominoes fall, all the heroes become dark. Maybe Doom realizes he could make his own evil Avengers by doing what He Who Remains did to him, to the sacred timeline. This bastardization of the sacred timeline. And then you go back to that moment when Steve was very vulnerable after Peggy dies, right? And then Steve is confronted by Doctor Doom, who's like, hey man, just so you know, all this suffering, this was written down. Here's the script. And then Steve would be like, what is this? As he's at his lowest, he's completely disillusioned. And then Doom gets him to flip and go dark side, become Hydra Captain America. And then everybody else becomes dark side. Why? Because then we realize, oh, Steve was actually why these heroes became heroes in the first place. He's the one that turns Nat. He's the one that helps to turn Hawkeye. Cap was the moral heart of the whole thing. He's the one that makes Banner feel accepted. He's the one that turns Tony. Without Cap, Tony doesn't become that guy that snaps his fingers and says, I am Iron Man. It's all predicated on the character of Steve Rogers. So why not use that idea? Why not flip that idea on its head? Why not have the inverse of that be the threat and thereby kind of bringing into question how meaningful the first thing was in the first place by then. And then you set that thing up to regain its relevancy by literally and figuratively defeating its evil counterpart. Like, I just think that's cool. I think that's cooking. And I think what this is just like kind of not. So I don't know, man.